really been slacking on the videos lately, but I have a chance to do one today. That's Christus St. Vincent Hospital right there. I just turned onto Old Pecos Trail, and we're heading southeast towards I-25. And this house is only 8 minutes from the hospital. It's in a neighborhood called Arroyo Hondo, and it's right off the frontage road that goes along I-25. So you don't actually get on I-25. We're going to turn and get on the front road and go past Harry's, and I'll talk a little bit about all this stuff as I'm heading out there. It's pretty hazy today. There's a couple of big fires down south, like in the Gila Wilderness for one, and that's what all this kind of smoky haze is looking like. The cones are out, so that means the Proscape guys are taking care of all the medians. There they are right there, all hiding in the shade. Don't blame them. It's super hot today. It's already 85 and it's 11 in the morning. It's supposed to be over 90 today, so it's somewhat of a little heat wave that we're having after being a pretty reasonable spring in terms of temperatures. We did have a lot of moisture too, which was been great. And now things are really starting to cook, but you know, technically we just entered officially into monsoon season like 3 days ago. It's June 15th is when it starts, and we haven't had any monsoons yet, but it looks like maybe by this weekend there might be some stuff setting up. And then also there's another hurricane coming up the west coast of Mexico that just hit Acapulco, and whenever that tropical storms or hurricanes come up the west coast of Mexico, we tend to get moisture out of that. So we'll see what happens. So technically it's Old Las Vegas Highway to the left and Rodeo Road to the right. This is kind of a crazy intersection, and dangerous too, by the way. I was rear-ended at this intersection once. So it's just kind of awkward angles, you know, the way all these roads turn into each other. So more about Arroyo Hondo. It's quite rural, even though it's very close to town. The lots are pretty big, you know, 5 acres and up. And a lot of people have horses out here. They have some interconnected trails throughout the whole neighborhood and through the actual Arroyo Hondo itself that allow for great horseback riding. There are also mountain biking trails too, and they all connect to the rail trail, which runs all the way out to El Dorado and then to Lamy, and that's where the train goes. The visitor train, the Sky Railway is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's the only train that runs out there anymore. But plenty of open space out there too for riding. Here's Sticks and Stones on my right. So basically you can buy your flagstone and your birdhouses and your hay, and the honey guy's here today too. Coming up on the left is like a gas station slash liquor store, Sunrise General Store. And then we're gonna pass Macomber Garden, which is wonderful, like garden spot. They have a lot of hardscape materials, but they also have a lot of plants. A friend of ours actually built that property and then sold it. So Macomber's in there now. They've got a big greenhouse in the back, nice building to display all the garden shop stuff. And then next is Harry's Roadhouse. Okay, Harry's is a quintessential Santa Fe restaurant. It's been there for decades. Just sold to the employees. Harry retired finally. The employees bought it, and it's always packed. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's got a full bar. They have margaritas. And then we're passing the Bourbon Grill and El Gancho, which is my gym. So it's a gym, fitness, tennis, swimming pool, indoor and outdoor. Real nice place. Now we're really technically on the frontage road, and the first turn that we're going to hit here is Arroyo Hondo Road. That's what I'm saying. This is really, really close into town. And we're just going to duck under the interstate, and that's actually Arroyo Hondo to my right too. And there's a couple hiking trails too up to the right that are Arroyo Hondo open space. And there's like petroglyphs and stuff up there. It's really cool. The history of this place is pretty amazing. They have dated, you know, Native American settlements in and around the Arroyo Hondo going back thousands of years. And that's all to the right. Santa Fe County, Arroyo Hondo open space. So there's a little parking right there. And that's all hikeable up in that area. It's just a little windy road here. You can't go very fast. But once we get past these hills, that's when the views really open up. You can see all the way to the Sandias. Except for today, we might not be able to because of all the haze. Oh, dude. He's paying even less attention to the road than I am. There's some really killer houses over there that kind of overlook the Arroyo. It's really fun to mountain bike down there too. I used to have a friend who lived out here, and we would cruise on that all the time. It says veer right. A little confused here. Yeah, Arroyo Hondo Trail, okay. Okay, got that person on my back. So you see, it's cool out here. It's very, like I said, rural, where they have a lot of dead trees on that property. And this goes out for maybe a mile and a half, and then it just kind of dead ends, and it's that the rail trail. Okay, it's right here on the right. Good deal. Give me a minute because I gotta hop out and open the gate. Maybe I can just reach it from here. So there's two houses right here that share this driveway. And I'm headed to the one on the right. I mean, sorry, the one on the left. The one on the right is not for sale. It's fully fenced. It's a little over 6 acres. You definitely can have horses here, but there are no horse facilities. These two properties share a well. It's a 3-acre foot well, which means each property owner gets 1.5 acre feet per year, which comes out to around, gosh, I did the math before, 490,000 acres per acre feet. No, gallons, sorry, gallons per year, which is plenty for a regular household. I'm just gonna take the tour. Wow, this is really overgrown piñons, which they all look great. It's all because of how much rain we've had this spring. But what also has happened is the mice and the pack rat population has gone absolutely bonkers. So if you buy a house out here, I would absolutely recommend getting on a pest control prevention program, which looks like they do. Speaking of which, see, there's that box. That's to catch the mice. All right, so I'm just gonna park up here. Everything looks gorgeous and really well taken care of. This house has a lot of new stuff, pretty much everything new. So let me go get my bearings inside and I'll start up again. Okay, so we're back out in front of the house. 3-car garage. All of these trees have been maintained recently and everything is on drip irrigation. And all this stuff in the middle is piñons. There's a blue spruce right there. And then some other things. It's really well protected, I would say, in here in terms of, vegetation, because most of this lot is just grassland, open grass. So we'll just peek around here real quick. That's the lot line going out there to the back. There is a gate down there that you could come in from the back side of the property. And apparently there's a pad out there that they used to have some sort of telescope on. Oh, it's right here. Look at that. I'm getting a little distracted, but you could build a barn with that, so because you've already got the slab and everything, and there's power out there too. So plenty of room for horses if that's what you want. There are some big weeds going up back there. $10 says that's where the septic tank is, which, by the way, this house is on a septic too. In the state of New Mexico, it's the seller's responsibility to have the septic inspected and pumped out and permitted before the transfer of the sale can happen. So buyers, you're in good shape there. So they do have a little drainage walkway here. That is a cottonwood, which should not be here, but it is, and it looks like it's in really good shape. So if you did buy this property, you'd want to make sure to take care of that. And a nice little hammock area, which I'll show you off the primary suite. Coming in, we've got a nice little courtyard here, all brick. A couple of these Japanese maples on this side. And then a nice little pergola kind of setup, but it looks like it could be, maybe painted, touched up a little bit. And then a door into the garage. The stucco is new. The windows are new. All the mechanicals are new. There's just a lot of new stuff in this house. Even though it was built in 1990, it doesn't really feel like that at all. Screen door coming in. I'm not going to turn any lights on or anything. The house is not occupied right now. So if we go to the right, we got this gorgeous dining room with a really nice dining room table, by the way. I'd love that. And then we go into the living room area. Nice tall ceilings. Everything is very white. So they've painted all the ceilings and the beams and the tongue groove all white. There's a fireplace in front of you. 2 great windows looking out. This is kind of northwest. Yeah, there's that septic tank lid I was talking to you about. It got so much water this year that I think looks like it kind of sank in something. That's interesting. Something to check that out for sure. And then these big sliding doors here to a nice covered area with this beautiful gardens and stuff out here. Lovely. It doesn't leave much room for views because there's so many trees and stuff, but yeah, that would be somebody to decide, I guess. There's a powder room right here. Just toilet and sink, pretty plain. The master bedroom is off the living room. I'll head that way after I do the kitchen, but you do have a nice little office here. It's great. It's got some built-in bookshelves, and there is a mini split in this office right there. So when they did all this remodeling a couple of years ago, they put mini splits in, but they didn't put mini splits in for the whole house, only certain places. Like the guest bedrooms do not have mini splits. This is a really great area here too. You have this eat-in kitchen and then a nice fireplace here that looks like it is, that's gas. Okay, that wood just looks like real wood. There's a doggy door, that's cool. And then a pretty good looking kitchen here. Again, it's very white. I mean, if you like white, all the countertops are white, the cabinet faces are white, the ceiling is white, and they have a cool rose setup over there. And then built-in double oven, white refrigerator. Here's your cooktop. Hopefully that has a downdraft on it. Yes, it does, so you don't smoke out the house. These are GE profile. These might be a little bit older, but I don't know. Just because they're white, maybe it just makes it seem like they're older. You're used to seeing like stainless in a lot of cases. Nice big pantry there. And then wraps back around to the dining room. You notice that they've got all the windows open, right? Because it's hot. And they don't want to run those mini splits because nobody's living here. And plus the mini splits are only for the bedroom and the office. So there's your other mini split there. This is the primary. So we switched the flooring type into like this nice dark oak, king size bed. There's a little closet here, which is not the main closet. And then you have these built-in cabinets here and some uppers. This is a nice big room. And then you've got a sliding glass door to a nice patio here, which is that underneath that cottonwood by the hammock that we saw before. Tile in the bathroom. Sink, tub, shower. So separate tub and shower. That's just a regular tub. I don't think it's jetted. Toilet and walk-in shower. And then a nice walk-in closet. The actual closet. It's not huge, but it's definitely, it's bigger than mine. My walk-in closet is tiny. So those are the main living areas of the house and the primary bedroom. You saw the office. Let's go check out the 2 guest bedrooms. So nice separation of space too, by the way, between the guest side and the primary side. Again, back to the wood floors. This is a really generously sized room here. That's probably a queen bed. We got nice windows here looking out back towards town. And then the other windows out here in the courtyard. And then this Jack and Jill bathroom with the other guest bedroom sharing. Double sink. Tub shower combo. In the pictures, I was gonna say that this bathroom is the only one that feels maybe it's a tad bit dated. Like it almost feels like a little 1990, but now that I'm seeing it in person, it's not quite as bad as I thought in terms of datedness. There's a little closet, and then the second guest bedroom, also very generously sized. Closet space, you could easily fit a king size bed in here. Okay, then we head out towards the garage, mechanical room, and the laundry room. This is good size too. You could even put more shelving and stuff like that in here if you felt like you needed it. But you also have this giant 3-car garage with another doggy door. See, this is a 2-car garage. And then if you go up this little ramp thing here, and this is the 3rd bay, which looks like maybe they had this set up as a gym or something. This was probably the COVID gym, right? We had a bunch of extra tile left over, but nice windows in here, and that door goes out to the back patio, and then there's another door over there that goes out to the front entrance patio. Can't even tell what kind of bike that is. It's big. Okay, all new mechanicals in here. So there's your on-demand water heater. There's your on-demand water heater. Wait, what? One's a boiler, one's a water heater. The boiler is for the radiant heat. 1990. I don't believe the tubing material type is something to be concerned about, but that's something I would definitely double check. You've got your 4 zones up there. What's that? Honeywell's for power, heat, cool, fan. I'm not sure what that is. Thermostat of some sort? Okay, that's tied into the zones. There's your control box for the irrigation. Nice to have that in here. That's probably your whole house shut off right there. They also put in a reverse osmosis system and a filter right there, a whole house water filter for the main line coming in, which is that white tube. That's your main water supply line coming in from the well. I don't know where the well stuff is, kind of out in the driveway, I think, if I recall correctly from looking at the plat. If someone were to buy this house, I would recommend to have the well inspected too, because basically you want to make sure the equipment's functioning properly, that the flow rate is good, and then you get a water sample and test the water quality itself to make sure there's no bacteria or other kind of harmful things. That's kind of an interesting dryer vent situation. Never seen that before. Okay, I'm gonna turn off these lights. And now let's take a little tour around the back. the house, the backyard, etc. So yeah, get the well tested. Anytime you buy a property with a well, you want to get it tested just to make sure everything's kosher with that. And then the next thing you want to do is test that water quality at least once a year too, just to make sure that it's safe to drink. There's the outside of that doggy door. Right now on that thermostat, or that thermometer says about 84 degrees. It feels actually pretty comfortable in the house, but if it were me, I would put more mini splits. That's the solution, basically. You just put in maybe one in for each guest bedroom, and then one at least for the kitchen area, one for the living room too. Not quite sure what that big wood thing is out there with flowers around it. I saw that on the aerial view. I was trying to figure it out. Okay, good stuff out here. You could tell everything is just super healthy. A lot of it had to do with the rain, but it's also because they're irrigating this. Hollyhocks right there. Cool smoke bush, looks great. This is the stuff I hate. I'll remember the name in a minute. Here's the smoke bush. Looks great. It's very cool. We planted a smoke bush at our casita years ago. It was not doing good, but it's looking better this year. These are all lilacs, which are probably are all done. Then you got some more of that stuff I hate. More lilacs, big old pinon. And this is gated too around on this side. So obviously they've got dogs or had dogs. There was a dog living here. They don't want them running around. But it's also fully fenced on the 6 acres too. I don't know if that's horse fence or what. There's your clean outs for your septic, your sewer line. So this is off the living room. A nice little covered shady spot too. And then you've got the other one around on the other side. Did they say new roof? Yes, they did. New roof in 2022. McPartland Roofing put it on. They're a reputable roofer in town. And there's a 10-year warranty. So that's 2032 the roof has a warranty for. The stucco's new. It probably has a warranty too. You could just move right in. This place is ready to go. There was a hot tub right there in the pictures, but it is gone right now. So I guess it doesn't come with a hot tub anymore, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's all set up for it. So you could get yourself a hot tub. Here's the electrical for that. That's your shut off and everything in your 50 amp. And another gate around on this side. I'm gonna go out and just walk around a little bit. They do have the critter control stuff happening. Just so you know, that little box right there, I have it at my house now too because we got invaded. Interesting that they have those on those timers. What happened to the control box in the inside? Huh. Maybe there's duplicate. So rose bush, another good looking tree right there. That's a maple. And then a couple other things going on back over there. 2 more of the mice things. Yeah, definitely need that out here. And then a couple fruit trees and a couple other trees. I mean, the cool thing about this property being built in 1990 is that all this vegetation has had a chance to really grow up. Because when this house was built, this was what it looked like out here. You know, maybe 1 or 2 random piñons or junipers or something. But now when you step back and look at it all, and it's really... it's covered and protected. It's going to help keep the house a lot cooler in the summertime, even though you really should just put in a couple more mini splits. Those are going to run you about, I don't know, I haven't priced those lately. I would say $6,000 per head. And you would need 4 more of those heads. So you figure 25 grand to fully air condition the house. Always curious to see what this is. Probably the propane tank, which is buried. Ugh. Yes, it is. Not sure how big it is, but I'd guess 500 gallons, maybe 1,000. So that tells us the house is on propane. you know, almost be worth it to just make the investment in the mini splits and put in solar panels. You've got plenty of room, obviously. There's no HOA out here, so nobody's going to get yelling at you because you put a bunch of solar panels on your property. Put a nice array on, and this house is really practically off the grid on a well with a septic, producing its own electric power. And then you could kind of divest from the propane, which is rather expensive compared to natural gas. But you might need to give up that gas cooktop, or just, you know, leave it as is. Lots of options. All right, what am I at? 15 minutes. I think I pretty much covered everything. I'm gonna wrap this up and get out of here. Thanks for watching. Okay, just to add a couple things, it is fully fenced. I verified that, and it's good. Like, I don't know if I'd call that horse fence, but man, your dog's gonna have a blast. And this, I guess, is where you could put another entrance if you wanted to. Here's a small gate. It's just like a walking gate. But you could provide access to the property back here. You can kind of see that pad back there, and then there's the house, which is pretty well covered in lots of trees. This is just a side road. It's a road, but only a couple houses on it. And the other thing to point out is it's private trash service out here. I just noticed that on the trash cans. Just like a little add-in shot for you there. You can back up at the mountains, back towards town. But all this, you could just leave it be. You probably wouldn't even need to mow it or anything like that. I mean, maybe once a year come out here and knock it all down. It might be something beneficial to help prevent fires, that's all. But it's pretty low maintenance stuff. All right, bye house.